guys, Jess here, as well as my wonderful assistant Charlie. I'm here for your workout of the day. Now I'm gonna explain this template to you guys, so not only will you get a workout today, but you can use it and change the movement so that way you can create more workouts from this one style. So what we're gonna do today is called Filthy 50. The way that this works is you got 10 movements and you have to do all 50 reps of the first movement before you move on to the second movement. Do all 50 reps of the second movement, obviously, to move on to the third. So here's your workout today. First one is going to be a mountaineer. The way that this works is you're going to do a squat, then a lunge. So it's gonna look like this. You got your feet shoulder width apart, okay? Your shoulders are pulled back, chest is high, you're standing with confidence. You're going to squat, lunge, squat, lunge, and that is considered one. Now, I know that some of you guys might have some knee problems going on there and lunges may not feel comfortable. That's okay. What you can do instead is just give a squat to high knee, squat to high knee, okay? That is your regression for movement one. You got 50 of those. Second movement is going to be grizzly push-ups. This is one of my new fan favorites. As well as if you can't do these types of push-ups, you can regress to standard push-ups. If those are still hard, again, you have the option of going to your knees or elevating them, but I'll show you all of that too as well. So for the grizzly push-ups, you're gonna be in your bear plank position. Shoulders are going to be over your wrists, and you want your hips to be stacked over your knees. So for your grizzly push-up, you're going to squat back, shoot yourself forward, push up, squat back, push up, here, push up, and that's what your grizzly push-ups will look like. Now, again, if that's still hard for you, you can go to a regular standard push-up. Again, making sure your gripping mechanics is good. You're trying to grip the floor like you would a basketball with one hand, or you can think of having your biceps forward or elbow pits forward, so that way you can keep your shoulders locked. Standard push-up here, feet together, butt tight, pull yourself down, push yourself away. Again, if that's even hard for you, you can do it on your knees or elevate yourself where you're doing it on your couch, or if you got a bench somewhere, you can easily elevate your push-up. So that's your movement two. Movement three, we've got lateral lunges. So what you want to do, hopefully I don't kick you, buddy, sorry. You're going to lunge out to the side, right? You want this leg to be straight. Keep this toe pointed forward, right? You're gonna shift your weight this way, drive through this foot, up, squeeze. So you can do 50 on one side like this, and then you can switch over and do 50 to the other. I personally do not like alternating. It just becomes a cardio movement. I'd rather really tax my leg and the muscle fibers more so than just getting a good cardio movement out of that. So, because it's gonna be cardio anyways with 50 reps, but yeah, I'd rather do 50 on one leg than 50 on the other. That's just personal preference. Do what you gotta do for yourselves. That's your movement three. Movement four. Now, I'm lucky enough, I found a dumbbell the other day in Target. It was an essential trip, I promise. But I'm going to show you what you can do if you don't have a dumbbell, because I understand not everyone has weights. So what I've got for you guys, I've got a book bag. I put a couple books in here, obviously, and some weights. So a couple ways you can hold this, because our next movement obviously is a bent over row. I tighten the straps here, so that way I can pull with it. So for your bent over row, you're going to want to hinge at your hips, feet about shoulder width apart. You're going to push your butt back. If you need to widen your stance, because obviously you're using a book bag versus a weight, that's okay too. You're going to drive your elbows back, squeeze your shoulder blades. It's important to think about driving your elbow back. When people do bent over rows, they typically think about their wrists and they curl. And then when they do that, they get some more biceps and they're not getting the full benefit of the movement. So think about driving those elbows back, really squeezing your shoulder blades together. You can hold the book bag a little bit longer if you need to. If you got some shoulder problems, wider would hurt. Here, right? I'll let you choose. Your front view, obviously, hinging back, right? Neck neutral, drive back, or you can do it this way, right? and still driving your elbows, squeezing as tight as you can. You got 50 reps of that. Now, next movement is going to be an overhead press for your shoulders. So if you got your book bag or whatever weight you're using, hold it how you need to. I'm gonna get on my knees just so you can see, obviously, because I'm not gonna mess with the camera. But when you're doing overhead pressing, you wanna think about going from about your chin over your head. Now, one thing that's really important is to remember is that when you're coming through, you want to turtleneck it, as I call it, right? Your elbows should be behind your ears, okay? Keeping your butt tight and your core tight, so that way you can stabilize your spine, but straight up, right? You want the weight going straight up, driving through, so that way you have a more stable catch here. Now, for those of you who have a dumbbell, I do want you, or two, I want you to keep in mind of form, okay? So, right, you want to keep your wrists over your elbows, and you want to press straight up. More often than not in the gym do I see people bringing their wrists in. That's not good for you for a couple of reasons. One, if you look at Olympic lifters, not saying you guys are obviously Olympic lifters, but when they do cleans and when they do snatches, they are lifting explosively a lot of heavy weight, but they're catching it out here, right? So why is it that we train this way? When you do this, most people collapse in their shoulders, they lose the bracing within their lats, and what happens is they're coming in this way, and they're rubbing the bursa sac deep in the shoulder, and it can cause risks of shoulder impingement. So we don't want to do that. So if you guys have dumbbells, instead of doing the book bag method, right, just make sure wrists are over your elbows. You're coming up into a Y position to avoid injury down the road. Now, if this movement causes any clicking or grinding, what you can do is just turn your palms in, press this way. So it'll look, it'll look more like this. So that way, it takes a lot of that clicking away if you have a little bit of fluid moving in within the shoulder because of obviously some posture work that you need. That would be a regression to that. If even doing it this way with your palms in, if that still causes some bothering in your shoulder, eliminate the movement, exchange it for something else. Curls are fine. You can do pulse squats, whatever's best for you. I just want to make sure I give you all options so you guys understand how to do this correctly without causing any injury. So that is your fifth movement. All right, so moving on to the sixth one, we got Romanian deadlifts. So I'm gonna use the book bag again. So what you wanna do for your Romanian deadlifts, you wanna pull your shoulder blades back, chest is up. Now we're not locking our knees out completely, but we're not bending them like we would squatting. So what we're, I said that funny, that was weird. So what you wanna do is have a slight flex in your knee. You're just going to hinge. You're going to push your butt back as if you were to show off your hamstrings, keeping your neck neutral, right? Now you're gonna go to where the weight's about mid-shin length. Now when you come up, I want you to push your feet strongly into the ground, and as you rise, when you get to about your knees, I want you to fire those glutes. Squeeze as tight as you can. Here, nice time under tension. Up, squeeze, keeping those lats engaged, pushing back, up, squeeze. If you feel any unnecessary tension, tightness in your back by going down, don't go as low. Just go to about your knees, and you can just focus on the glute activation portion of it. Glutes are really powerful. It does help stabilize your spine. They could just be really underactive if you're feeling that. So if you're getting any unnecessary tension, again, you don't have to go down as low. So with those firing up the glutes and the hamstrings for you and your RDLs. All right, movement 7. We got body weight pull-throughs. And I'm sorry, but it's gonna be 50 on each side. So, all right, this is your movement. You're gonna be in your bear plank. Again, I'll show you both views of this. So again, shoulders over wrists, hips are over your knees, okay? Right, shins are gonna be parallel. You're gonna take your left foot first, pull through your body, okay? Swing back in, do it on the opposite side and pull. That's considered 1. If I'm facing you guys, this is what it looks like here. In position, bear plank, pull through, balance yourself, pull through, balance yourself. Now, If you guys do have back problems, one rule of thumb, never be in a position where your hips are flexed and you're rotating. It's not good for the spine. So if you do have back issues, do not do this movement. I've got glute bridges for you instead, and this is what they'll look like. So on your back, knees bent, you want to be to where your fingertips should just barely scrape the back of your heels like this. Rest your head, pull your shoulder blades back, drive strongly through the ground here, lift your glutes up, squeeze as tight as you can. Think about lifting your chest up, keep that back nice and flat. You got 50 of these. Again, we want those glutes firing for you guys. Help strengthen your back if you guys got back issues. So that's your regression for the bodyweight pull through. Movement number 8. We've got good morning squats, or you can call them sit to stands. There's so many different names for this movement. I like to keep my hands back, actually try to simulate a good morning, right? Pushing your butt back, hinging like you would an RDL, then you're going to sit into it. If you don't have the hip mobility to get all the way down, that's okay. Just do what you can do. So back, down, up. Lateral view here, back, down, up. If you need to balance yourself, that's okay. Sit into it and up. Drive back, stretch the hammies, flat back, sit into it and up. Okay? This is really getting me under, losing my breath already. I haven't even done this yet. All right, so movement 9 for you, quad extensions. This is a fan favorite from one of my old friends back home. I know it looks kind of funny, but I promise you it's gonna pump up some blood into the quads here. So we're gonna get into our bear plank position. Again, shoulders over wrists, hips stacked over knees, okay? To make it a little bit harder, you can bring your hands closer to your knees. The goal is to make sure your knees do not touch the ground throughout all 50 reps. We wanna put a lot of time under tension on the quads. So from here, I'm gonna bring my hands in just because I've done these for a while. You're going to, hey, keep your shins parallel, up and down, up, down, up, down. The first 20 or so feel pretty good. You're obviously stretching out the hamstrings, get some tension going here. Drive those heels down. But I promise you, when you stand up after doing those, the quads will be feeling real good after that. Now, your last movement for your final 50 reps is we're gonna hold a glute bridge while doing a chest press. It does simulate a decline press for your chest, as well as get your glutes firing as well. So if you've got dumbbells, again, remember, wrist over elbows, that's always a good rule of thumb when it comes to pressing movements. But I'm gonna do the book bag for you guys, because I know not everyone's got equipment. So again, glute bridge, you want it to where you're just barely touching your heels, okay? So I'm going to lift myself up. Now I'm gonna hold that. Now with the book bag, keep it right over my chest line. Pull in and press. Pull in and press. And lift yourself back down. Again, 10 movements, 50 reps each. Now, if you're an athlete or an endurance person like myself who want to take this template up to the next level, you can do what's called Filthy 50 2.0. So after every movement, right, you do your 50 reps, you'll do a cardio movement in between. So what I'm gonna do is run from my house down to the end of the street, which is about a quarter mile. So there and back is gonna be a half mile. So I'm gonna do 50 reps, half mile run, 50 reps, half mile run, 50 reps, half mile run. You get the idea. If you don't know distance or don't have a GPS watch, you can do a minute of jump rope, a minute of high knees, a minute of jumping jacks. If you guys got a rower or some type of equipment at home, I'll let you guys pick your poison if you want to step it up and do the 2.0 version. Just pick a cardio movement, stick with it the entire time. You got 50 reps, cardio movement, 50 reps, cardio movement. If you just want to stick to the standard Filthy 50, 50, 50, 50 all the way through. So hope you guys enjoyed. I'll be coming with you some more videos, but stay happy and stay healthy, Move Fitness. I miss you guys. So we'll see you next time.